Welcome back to another episode of Hello, Ladies, where feminism meets pro wrestling. We're your hostesses with the mostesses. I'm Sabrina,
And I'm MJ.
and MJ was kind enough to give me her illness, which you can probably hear a little bit. So next week it should be her turn again. You know,
Yeah,
caring is
it's just
caring.
the passing of the baton in 2025 of us just getting sick.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, if you're not aware, we don't see each other in person. So like it just the timing has been uncanny.
So that's how deep our friendship goes.
hmm It's sympathy illnesses just going back and forth.
I was sitting there watching most of full transparency. I did not watch all of AEW's Revolution pay-per-view. I think I missed the last four matches. Not because it was boring, but my body, I think, was trying to, because my nose started running. So I think my body shut down and I started to pass out. And so I fell asleep and I was so mad because I knew today was a busy day and I wasn't gonna be able to finish it. But I was cracking up thinking about Sabrina giving me shit saying, all right, it's your turn to get sick next.
hmm Yeah. Yeah. The second I got sick, I was just like, and it's official.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Well, you sound so much better though. I'm happy that you're getting better.
Yeah, it was bad for a couple of days there, my voice specifically.
hmm
Anyone who
I
saw
felt
my TikToks, it was just like,
I shouldn't laugh, but that's funny. Oh my gosh. If you want to hear more about our sick shenanigans, you should follow us on social media on all major platforms. Give us a follow, like this, leave a comment below, all that fun jazz.
oh yeah. And tell us what you do to remedy your illnesses.
Actually, that is funny though. I'm curious, is anybody else getting sick as much as we are this year? Because I swear I barely got sick last year, and now this,
Mhm.
for whatever reason, I've been sick like three times already this year, at least, maybe four.
Yeah, same, same. Um, Yeah, and I've been trying all sorts of different like homeopathic stuff on top of like regular, just anything.
hmm
Just anything I can do at this point.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But
like my colds usually linger for a while, but these are just not letting up, you know? It's just so annoying.
my colds usually do not linger for a while.
Mm.
Like usually I can sleep them out and nope. Nope, 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 nope. Not this year. Mm-mm.
I have the immune system of a 90-year-old, so oh man.
Sexy.
Speaking I didn't say the ass of a 90-year-old. Speaking of things that are not about illness, or maybe things that are super sick, what about Elimination Chamber, Sabrina?
Yeah. It's so funny because like it feels like Elimination Chamber was 1,000 years ago because I wasn't sick then. Um, but yeah. How I guess we'll start at the beginning. The women's Elimination Chamber match, Jade coming back.
Yeah.
And did you watch SmackDown?
Following it, yes, with
Yeah.
the Bianca and Naomi. Oh my God, incredible. And you know what's so funny? I just want to say to everybody who said that Naomi would not make a good heel because people weren't happy with Naomi's last heel turn. Naomi had like either a tweet or Instagram post. It was something that I saw that like made me go, yes, this was like well before the turn. She's like, if I ever get a chance to be a heel again, I promise I'm going to go all out on it. And I was just like, that I believe. And seeing like, oh, her calling Bianca a bitch and just like, oh, like the babiest of baby faces in Bianca Belair, you're gonna call her a bitch. It's
hmm
just like, oh, this is so good. It was delicious. I've watched it so many times.
Um, and it was also just funny, like because it was and to me it was very much so a callback to when Rikishi and The Rock had their thing, and I did it for
Yeah.
The Rock. Like I did it for you. I'm like,
Have you seen the memes about that?
no, I have not, but yeah,
They put like Rikishi's head on Naomi's body.
yeah.
It's pretty good.
I love the callback, and clearly like Triple H is a fan of the callbacks.
I love it. And have you noticed like the people are saying like to pay attention to the clothing everybody's wearing too? Like when Jade came out to kick ass and then Bianca was wearing white, Naomi was wearing the white, so I find that
Mhm.
really interesting. And then it was the inverse. It was like when Jade came to kick ass, she was wearing like the white with the blood, which I thought was sick.
Yeah.
And then the ladies were both wearing the black. I don't know. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. Um, it's yeah. A lot of people are still hanging on thinking that Bianca's still like somehow behind all of this. I was just like,
Hmm.
I don't know if Trinity would have taken or Naomi would have taken that ass beating from Jade like for funsies twice for
Twice.
Bianca. But
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
yeah. Um I know some people were upset that like Bianca won the elimination chain. I wasn't upset by that. I did think that I was one of those people who wanted Alexa Bliss to win,
Sure.
but like I wasn't upset by Bianca winning. Like the only one I didn't want to win was Liv Morgan because I didn't want to see Liv in um uh
Rhea again.
yeah.
Now it wouldn't even have mattered though, since Io has the title, which is crazy. And then there's all these speculations and rumors online that Rhea's being punished for being at Grand Slam behind the scenes.
Oh, I heard that it's just that she's injured, that she has something else going on. Like,
That's what I think too. But you know how the IWC is. They're like fanning the flames of, see, it's because she went to be backstage for AEW and yada yada. But WWE doesn't seem like they care as much about that as AEW does.
yeah, I don't think they give a shit.
Hmm.
If anything, Triple H is probably like, yes, go see them. Let them see how happy you are being a top person in WWE. Go do that.
Yeah, they have no. I just don't see them having any reason to like do anything to sabotage Rhea. Like Triple H and her are so close, and like
She's money.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I think people are just trying to create shit,
Go figure.
right? The IWC, never.
Women's chamber match was cool. I wanted more spots for Roxanne though. Remember that was my whole speculation and rumor that I wanted like a big spot for her.
Yeah.
Did you speaking of speculation, IWC, did you see the whole thing that people are trying to make something out of actually the whole Becky Lynch tweet. You saw that got deleted?
No.
But when Punk had the mic, was it on Raw? It had to be on Raw, right? Yeah,
Yeah, oh yeah, what he
he's like,
said to, yeah.
"Come get your man."
Hmm.
And Becky tweeted it got deleted very quickly after, but she put a side by side of Roxanne's gear in Elimination Chamber and Punk's gear that same night in his Elimination Chamber, and they were like matching gear. And then she's like, "Hey, I don't think I'm the one that needs to come get my man," and she deleted it.
Oh,
It was amazing.
yeah.
I
Oof.
loved it. I love it. I
Yeah. Oof. Um, yeah, I could see either AJ Lee or CM Punk being, or even Roxanne being like, please take that down.
I know. I know. But man, it made me want like AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch so bad, seeing that. I was just like, come on. Ugh.
Yeah, I want Becky back so bad. I worry like because AJ Lee, it's been so long since she's performed in front of a live crowd like that. Like, and it's also one of those things where the women weren't wrestling at the level they are now when she was. So I don't want a situation where you bring back someone who we have all these great memories of, and then you put them against women today, and you're like, oh,
Do you feel that way when you watch Trish wrestle now?
I'm tired of seeing Trish wrestle at this point. Like,
Okay.
so I don't like, yeah. I mean, like the ladder match, for example, that she was in, that she had no business being in.
Hmm.
Um, that, yeah, in that match, I was like, she shouldn't
Yeah.
have been put in this. She's
I
okay in like a basic match, preferably a tag team match. Like that's where, but like, yeah, not anything like not a special event.
I know I know you haven't watched Heels, but I mean AJ's still really good in the ring in Heels too. Granted, obviously it's a TV show and it's like you can pause more, you can do different takes,
And
yada
do
yada. There's
things, yeah.
different things to it, but I mean I don't know. And I also have the same fear of like one, I don't want to. It's kind of like a Big E thing, right? Where it's like I don't want to like obviously without the injury kind of element, but like I don't want to see him in the ring if he is going to put himself at a risk, or you know what I mean, or
Yeah.
so it's like I would rather have him just go out knowing that that was Big E and we loved him like that kind of a thing, you know?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I just, especially with women wrestling, like the world turns so quickly on women.
Yeah,
Think about
true.
Paige, like when she came back and like how
Yeah,
nasty people got to her so quickly. Because she had ring rust. Like,
she had ring rust, and then people just could not let the fucking tape die. They still bring it up constantly. Like
mhm.
I get so fucking heated about that.
Yep. Yeah. So like I don't want to see that happen to AJ. Um, I mean, obviously also if she wants to come back, like I'm not gonna, but I'm also going to keep my expectations low. That way if she does come back, there it's a low bar, so I won't be disappointed.
I do really hate the IWC, like when they get what they want and they find everything wrong with it, you know? So
Oh yeah.
it's smart of AJ to not have come back at this point because it's like it's kind of like she, you know, it leaves like leaving them wanting more type of a thing.
Yeah, because I mean, even think about Punk when he came back. Like his run in AEW and like all the critiques he got and about how like terrible he was and da da da. Da. It seems to be like going a little smoother in WWE. He also hasn't just like randomly broken his ankle jumping into the crowd, so that helps. But
Yeah. I feel like the way WWE is kind of booking him too is more careful, where it's leaning so much more on promos than on like obviously in-ring technical
yeah,
work. Yeah.
yeah, um, yeah. They're just the booking is in general, the booking in WWE right now is better than in AEW.
I know we'll get to AW in a second, but that 0 hour was hard to watch. It was like I don't want to say that it felt embarrassing, but like I've been watching like with my boyfriend. I've been trying to get him to be a wrestling fan, and he literally watched AW, and I was like kind of scrolling through certain things on Zero, and he just kept being like, "What is this?" You know, because he's used to us watching Raw. It's like our tradition now. We watch Raw every week, and like he's kind of like getting into it and getting attached to characters and stuff. But then like on the flip side, and we have he watches AEW, and he's like, "What is with this like the Costco guys on here?" And like I
Yeah.
had to explain who the Costco guys are, and then like Ring of Honor kind of storylines are kind of tied into it, but I'm not seeing the full scope of that. Like as someone who's not actively watching Ring of Honor, and like I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm they need to stop with the Costco guys already, but I will say like just talking about that match, I want to see more Orange Cassidy and MXM. Like that those interactions were gold.
When he walked up and was doing the thumbs up while they were doing the poses, I died. And like you text me right after that happened, and I was thinking the same thing. I was like, "This is fucking gold right here." And then you text me that like 5 minutes later, and I was like,
Hmm.
"Yeah."
Yeah. Like that is amazing. That needs to keep happening. Everything else not so much, but
It's hard. Like and also like Young Gravy was on the pre-show. Did you see that? And
oh
like
yeah. And he clearly has never seen like wrestling before.
I know.
He said that.
I do really like Paul Walter Hauser on this though. Like his input on all of this is fun, and it's like because now he's been doing Pro Wrestling Revolver for the last couple of years, you know, and like I
Hmm.
think he was in MLW and he's done other stuff too. But it's like not only is he passionate, but he's actually been in the ring. It's like he offers such an interesting perspective, and I don't know. I just think he's like really laid back and chill, honestly.
Yeah. When talking about like celebrities, and their involvement, the two that I feel because they're not even supposed to be like a part of it, but they were just like big fans who were in the crowd, Leslie
Hmm.
Jones and Dr. King Young.
Yes.
Those two, perfect. I don't mind like when they're on camera or whatever because they're so in it. They're not thinking
Hmm.
about anything else. Like it's fan fucking tastic. They're adding to it. It's not just like a celebrity who's there like Yep.
When I was at Full Gear and Ken Jeong was right across like the aisle from me, I was freaking out because I fucking love him so much.
Hmm. Yeah. And him being such a huge wrestling fan just makes me love him more.
I know, I know. And he loves himself some AEW too. He gets so into it. I love it.
Speaking of celebrities and wrestling, did you catch Jon Stewart's segment on The Daily Show about John Cena going heel and like tying it into current events and all of that? It was so
Incredible.
good.
It was
So good.
it was beautiful.
And I was like, I'm right there with you. I'm following all of this. You are 100% correct. And he was just so excited about it.
I also like as if I ever need another reason to love Jon Stewart more. He's so amazing.
Hmm.
Oh my God. That's the man that I want for president so bad. I love him.
Right? Oh my God. He's so wonderful. And I did you
My whole
see?
thing is like if Trump can run as president and win, why can't we have fucking Jon Stewart? I feel like you could give him a run for his money. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you remember when Stephen Colbert jokingly ran and then people were like really getting into it and he went, "Oh shit," and like backed out? He was like, "No, no, no, no. This was a
No,
joke."
I didn't
Like
remember that. That's funny.
the moment people started donating, he was like, "No, no, no. Refund, refund. No, no, no."
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And that really should have been the warning sign of what was to come in the world.
Yeah. Jesus.
But
I literally remember like an ex-boyfriend's family at the time. They just wanted to vote for Trump just because he was a celebrity and they just wanted to see what happened. I was like, you're you literally using like American politics as like a social experiment. Okay, cool.
yeah. Well, we found out what happens.
We did.
Yep.
We fafoed and here we are again.
Yep. 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 Um,
You know what?
I, huh?
Go ahead. Go
Oh,
ahead. You're good.
I was gonna say, jumping back to Elimination Chamber,
Hmm.
I had zero interest in the tag match. Like, I was very interested in it, but then when I was watching it, I was just like, like that was my reaction to it. I was just like, this wasn't what I was hoping for.
Yeah. I do really feel like wrestling in general right now, we've really like all promotions have really forsaken the tag division. It just really feels like right now it's so singles oriented with every major promotion.
Yeah, I agree with that. Um, yeah, and then there was the women's tag match as well. Um,
Hmm.
that one I was a little more into. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's still I think also it's really hard when you have like the Rumbles or the Elimination Chambers, like the matches that get slotted in between them. Like
Yeah.
it was different when it was just one of those
Hmm.
matches, but now that there's two, and I want them to keep having two, it's hard.
Well, also it just felt like such a gimmicky like tag
Canada.
match too. Like the Trish and Tiffy thing was just I don't know.
And Tiffany at the be like sometimes when I see her next to Trish, um, Tiffany looks really like unsure of herself. Like I can see her doubting herself almost in her head sometimes.
Mm,
Um, not and like not even when they're wrestling, but like in the beginning when they're like doing like entrances or promo stuff, like standing next to each other. That's when I see it.
interesting.
Yeah. I like clocked it the one time and I was like, I've never seen Tiffany look like that before. What is that look of on her face? And then I realized what it was.
Trish is like behind the scenes, like, you little shit, don't make me look bad. And she's like, oh, I'm just kidding.
Right?
No, I mean, I feel like that's got to be intimidating coming out with a legend, though. But Trish was so like on camera, she was so graceful and
Oh yeah.
like it was like I don't know, it was cool. But I do see what you mean, and I feel like that's how I felt when Roman was next to The Rock last year for like the WrestleMania promotions. I just felt like he looked like a little kid. You know, it just is
Oh
like
yeah.
it's weird. It's weird because like Roman had up to that point for a couple of years had done such a good job of like coming across as like this like heel, like more than a heel, like this villain, that you just
Mm.
fucking hated. And so then to have him like just look like a little puppy dog next to The Rock was so weird.
Well, yeah, I think especially because like I mean, I think any wrestler looking at The Rock has that a little bit, but when that's your
Hmm.
cousin that you've been like
Sure.
growing up with and like looking up to your entire life, that's just like an added thing,
Yeah,
you know.
I agree.
So, but right they're cousins, right?
In their own special way. Yeah, in their
Yeah.
own bloodline way.
Yeah. I forget how it's all supposed to go, but we're gonna say cousins.
Yeah.
The Usos can explain it. I love when they go through and they explain, like in
It's so
interviews.
funny.
Yeah.
So funny. And I love that they asked Naya too, and they asked Tamina. It's like I just love like everybody's like interpret. They're like they do like a deep breath. Okay. They start to break it down.
Mhm.
Rikishi, I've seen him get asked that before too.
They should all just carry like something that like folds out and be like, here we go. With like
A little
everyone's
pop out
faces.
like pointer.
Yep.
Here, if you look right here.
Hmm. Like real name, wrestling name. Real name, wrestling name.
Right. Oh man.
But
That's hilarious. Elimination Chamber was crazy.
the men's.
I the men's match and yeah. I don't know what I saw. Remember how I told you that I saw some weird thing that I thought was a spoiler and I thought Punk was hurt again? I just scrolled so quickly past it, which is so funny because you're probably sitting there like, the
Yeah,
fuck?
because I was watching that match and like Punk was already out and I was like, he was not injured at all. Like, what?
I've never been more happy to be wrong. I was like, I don't want to see this man get injured again, for the love of God.
Yeah. Or
The
no.
whole
Sorry, you messaged me that before that match. And because I was like, he hasn't even
did
done
I?
anything yet. Yeah.
Oh God, that's funny as fuck.
Because like I suddenly was like, am I not watching this in time? Like I messaged my one friend, I'm like, where are you in the pay-per-view? And I was like, okay, that's what I'm seeing too. Like I just doubted myself. Did I start this late? Like what's
Look
going
into
on?
the gaslight, Sabrina.
Right?
Oh my God, that's hilarious. But anyway, what do you, how do you feel about the men's elimination chamber match? I actually feel like I enjoyed the men's, I think, better than the women's this year.
Yeah. I mean, both of them had like, those big spots, which I
Sure.
appreciated, like the big shocks.
Mhm.
Um,
Liv was the MVP of the women's. I saw that
yeah.
Ray had mentioned that same thing, and I was like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, 1,000% she was the MVP of that match.
That whip with Bianca's hair, I would be crying too. Like at one point they showed her and she was just on the floor, like crying a little bit, holding her side. And I was like, I feel that. I want to cry
Yeah.
like just watching it. Um,
Thank God she's a heel right now too, and like her doing that only like exacerbates that.
yeah. I kind of wish that when Naomi had been taken out, that somebody else had been substituted in.
A
Like,
thousand percent.
I
Yeah.
really wish they would have done that. That is my only like real critique of that match. For the men's, when Seth was eliminated, I was just like, I clocked that the door was still open and I was like,
Hmm.
why aren't they showing that side? Why aren't they showing that side? Why aren't they showing that side? Why does it look like that door is open? Hmm, hmm, hmm. So, um I'm annoyed that like I was able to see that because it just made me like really miss anything else that was happening in the ring because I was like, I'm waiting for your bullshit. What's going on? Something's gonna happen. And then of
Right.
course Seth and that curb stomp. So,
Hmm.
but I loved specifically like Cena and Punk's interactions throughout that entire match.
Yeah.
Like the hug, everything else, and like just it really I mean, maybe it was all done just for the fans. That's entirely possible, right? But like it feels like, maybe they've healed some of their own old wounds with each other.
I
'Cause, like,
felt that way too. And I also, did you see the cool side by side that WWE shared from, yeah, oh my
yeah.
God. It's like literally But also that was crazy because I'm such a big CM Punk girl, and it was kind of hard to watch because you saw Punk was like a little couple steps behind.
Oh,
Like his old. So I feel like that. Then again, it's like me feeling a little bit like a neckbeard to kind of point that out. But it was just so sick how it was like almost in sync, same move set.
yep.
I don't know. It was beautiful. I loved it.
Yeah, I love again that they did that callback. Um, I loved everything that happened in that match that didn't, except for Logan Paul eliminating Priest. That I could
Hmm.
have gone my entire life without seeing. Logan Paul should have been the first one out because he never should have been in that match.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't agree with that choice either. Well, I didn't
I,
agree with the choice for him to be in WWE.
I didn't agree with the choice for him to be on this planet, so
No one gave me a heads up about this.
yep,
You do
yep.
not have my consent to have him on this planet.
I would have vetoed that.
Right. Oh my God. Fucking the Cena heel turn. But first, before we get into that, Travis Scott, why? First of all, why? Second of all, my champion, you're destroying his fucking beautiful face.
Um, So I lost my mind when I saw Travis Scott putting his hands on Cody because like how he picked him up. I'm like, he's gonna tear something of like the way he lifted him
Hmm.
when Cena had him. I was like, that's how you tear muscles. Like if
Yeah,
Cody hadn't stretched enough or any, like he could have ripped his quads, all this stuff.
right,
And that's why you see like Punk or not Punk, John Cena take and push Cody back down to try and protect him. And
right.
I was just like, when I saw that Travis Scott hurt Cody, I was like, no shit. Can we not do this anymore? Like he had no business being in that ring. Sorry, that was my angry rant.
No, you're
Very
good. You're good.
impassioned.
I don't know.
Like, yeah. Oh, the turn though was phenomenal.
Hmm.
My God. I also kind of hope when Cena comes out, he's gonna have shaved his head because his bald spot was making me so sad because it's really mm, like almost like you remember like Friar Tuck where they
Yes.
it's giving that.
I kind of like the bald spot because it shows how much confidence he actually has as a person. Like that man can afford anything. He could have gone to Turkey how many times over to fill that shit in, and he's just like, nah. I love when people show their age like that and don't give a fuck. Like for me, I think that's awesome.
I appreciate it, but it's making me sad.
Oh my, it makes me feel old. I'm just like, oh my God. But yeah.
With each hair that leaves, so does a year of my youth. But um yeah, I'm shocked that I'm not surprised that Cena would want to do that. I'm shocked that they would do it with him being such like the money maker. And have you seen all the videos of just like kids losing it? Like kids just
I I died.
sobbing.
I laughed so hard and I like but you know what's really funny is at least like I think this is so brilliant because Cody is such a big baby face. At least they have because before for years, I don't have to tell this to you being such a Cena fan, but like that was the man that they hung their hat on. That was the baby face. That was the guy. Now they have the guy again who has this huge star power, who kids love, who goes above and beyond for the company the same way John Cena did. Like I love it. It feels like such a fun passing of the torch,
Oh
and it's
yeah.
just uh also, like, I love the fact that all of us, myself included, have been wanting Cody to turn heel, but this just makes me even happier that he's babyface because it's just like, I just love it.
And what's so great is because you saw that interview that Cody did with R-Truth on his bus and how Cody has been
Yeah.
saying that he wants to face R-Truth so badly.
Yes.
And but he can't because they're both such huge baby faces and all this. And then R-Truth with this heel turn, people some of the first things people have said is like how could Cena do this to R-Truth? Not Cody who's bleeding in the ring. No, no, nay, nay. How could he do this to R-Truth? And like Yep. I was just like, this is perfect because this adds even more to like the Cody our truth lore.
I know. And honestly, like I love everything about our truth. I know you do too. And like I want to actually see him like get this treatment. Like, I mean, he's gotten like major title treatment in other promotions before. Why couldn't he get it in WWE like this? You know, because he is hilarious, but he's not just the joke. He's got the full everything.
hmm I just want to
I would go ahead, go ahead.
I want to see him like go up to John Cena and be like, "How could you do this to me?"
Yeah.
Like, I want to see like that interaction at some point in like the next month, like our truth just like heartbroken going up to Cena.
I want to see that happen and then our truth, it comes back later. And then like when Cena has like a moment or something like that, our truth like slaps him or something. Like I want to see like a just desserts moment that happens after that, like down the line. Because I want that long term storytelling.
Oh yeah. 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 Oh. I feel like our truth could really like emulate some of these videos too. Like the kid that was like just yeeting all of his John Cena stuff down the steps. Like there had to be like at least 20 Cena action figures, he's throwing shirts and everything else.
I
I want to
know.
see Art Truth making that video and his wife just being like, "What are you doing?"
Oh my God.
But yeah. And any other thoughts about Elimination Chamber or the heel turn heard around the world?
First of all, I was mad that Travis Scott was anywhere near WWE because I remember Astro World very well.
Hmm?
I remember Kardashian family trying to help cover that up.
Uh-huh.
I will not forget that.
Yeah.
And I think that I really hope that this serves as a wake up call for the WWE that you can't just fucking have celebrity talent in the ring that's untrained. You can't just put people in there just to like, we're doing too much with like showcasing all of this, you know? Like, I mean, I love that they showed like Macaulay Culkin in the crowd like
Yeah.
last night for Raw kind of a thing. Like, little things like that are fun, but it's like, what business did that man have in the ring? None.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like it's Bad Bunny, or even fucking Logan Paul, different because they've put the time in to
Yes,
learn. Like, I hate Logan Paul. I don't want him in the ring, but like it's not unsafe for him to be there.
right. He's putting in the work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ugh. I can't believe I had to like almost kind of say something nice about Logan Paul. Ugh.
I know. I know.
Ugh. Um, but yeah. So he
But
I
the Rock, I want to say this. The Rock's little thing like this was so weird to me. How
yeah.
he just went up
And
like
what
this and then did like the didn't he do like a kiss thing or did like some like kind of a thing? I don't know. I
oh,
watched it from a different angle later because they went like this and then they cut to Cena. But like when you watch the full thing, the angle from the crowd, it's like Rock does some other weird thing. Like I don't know. I gotta watch it again. But like it was just I just kept doing that to Zach afterwards, just going
yeah.
I
I was
was
like,
like,
did
what
you
is
have an
that?
itch? Like it's like he had an itch and he was like, this is the only way I can scratch it.
So much better.
The Rock doesn't have itches.
This is how men scratch their itch.
Like, I don't know. Maybe he was trying to be different than Undertaker. Like,
It makes me feel better about that weird soul promo that Rock cut a couple weeks before on Raw because I really hated that. I
yeah.
also was like kind of like okay, I trust The Rock a little bit here, you know, like I don't know. I
Also,
still
very
it was weird
Undertaker-esque.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Undertaker
was.
that's gimmick infringement. That is Undertaker's thing. I want to see like him just show up and be like, no, no, no.
Yeah.
He hits him with
It
his
was
motorcycle.
I wonder what like the psychology behind that was or if we'll see more of that later what that means. Like I don't know.
He's just
Very
walking
odd.
around with like Cena's soul.
Totally. Also very Undertaker-esque, like the urn.
Yep. Yep. Although for some reason in my mind it's a glowing contract. Like
Oh,
in like a Beauty and the Beast rose type of glass situation, but it's seen as a soul contract.
Yeah.
This is when WWE goes Disney, obviously. WWE on ice. That's what we'll see.
Oh, I would pay to see that shit so much.
Yeah, I absolutely would as well. One of them, is it Alexa Bliss? Someone is like has a background as an ice skater. Carmella? I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, someone has a background as an ice skater.
Well, Carmella's not there anymore, which we haven't even really talked about, I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes me so sad because as everyone knows, I was looking forward to Carmella coming back. Um,
Hmm. Same.
but
I think she was too, it really seemed like.
yeah. And I think she's raised some valid points. I also like, so she went on a podcast, but it was a woman's podcast, like a woman-run
Yeah.
podcast,
Hmm.
which I really appreciated. Obviously. Um, that's one thing about Carmella, or Leah. She has time and time again shown that she's a girl's girl, and she's gonna get
Yes.
a lot of flack for like raising some of these issues, um, about how
Because
like
they
the
make
women
they
aren't
make you
paid the
seem
same.
like you're a problem. Yeah, yeah. They just, oh, you're difficult, you're this. I don't know how to tell I don't have to tell this to you, but I thought that took such fucking lady balls to say that on camera and just express those concerns.
Yep, yeah, and because she had said like she feels like she's being punished because she had a baby, and I don't necessarily like disagree because people immediately are
Hmm.
pointing, well, like Alexa Bliss was brought back. And
Hmm.
yes, but Alexa Bliss also was a much bigger name.
Yeah,
I think it's quite possible that if Carmella never left to have a baby, she'd probably still have a job.
yeah. I mean, I get so hurt about it because Carmela was like doing some of my favorite work right before,
Yeah.
the pregnancy announcement, which I think is beautiful. Their son is
So
adorable,
cute.
but like
Looks so much
so
like his
cute,
dad.
insanely like a little tiny mini
Corey
Graves.
Graves.
It's so weird. Um, but yeah, it so obviously I was so happy for her, but I was also like, okay, when she comes back, we're just gonna jump back into this. It's gonna be fire because it was like she was doing my favorite work like of her career at that point, and I really felt like she was just going up.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I think if she doesn't want her wrestling career to be over, I don't think it is.
yeah,
Um, I like, but like I can't even say where I would love to see her in because like I'm so nervous about how AEW would book her.
I know, I am
But
too.
um, you know, I think TNA would certainly be a good spot for any woman who's not Tessa Blanchard. Um, just saying that. When I canceled my TNA subscription, they asked me why. I that's what I put in the like because you
Good.
brought this woman back. I refuse. And like I'm suffering for it. Like I didn't get to see Joe Hendry win his belt.
I
Like
know.
and I but yeah, I'm a principled asshole, so
That's how I am too. Oh man.
but at any rate, yeah, I'm
Can we pause real quick, Letty?
yep.
Sorry, I've been getting.
Alrighty. So, and then of course there was also this weekend, as we've touched on a little bit,
Hmm.
um AEW's Revolution.
Revolution, which I have not finished yet because I'm apparently old and fell asleep twice.
You know, I don't think did you even see the two matches then that I couldn't watch? No, you wouldn't have because they were the last four. There were two matches that I like watched maybe 5 minutes of, and then blood was everywhere. So
I haven't seen. I'm assuming one of them is Mox and Copeland.
no.
Really? Okay, so one is definitely because I saw Will's fucking crimson face after. I've
Hmm.
seen a couple of things. I've tried to scroll away on social media, and that was one where he's like giving a promo and he's got his face all bloody. I'm like, oh my god. So it's definitely Kyle and Will. I
Apparently, at
do.
some point in that match, you see Kyle. um Fletcher's ass a bunch. I don't, because I wasn't watching because it was blood everywhere at that point.
Oh wow. Was the other one Tony and Mariah?
Yep.
Wow.
How you've managed to miss those spoilers is because it was they got brutal. At one point, like I had to walk out of the room because I like they wrapped their hands, both of them wrapped their hands in glass. And I can't, I don't care if it's sugar, like I can't. That's a big ick for me. I cannot glass in skin. No.
No. That's like honestly what nightmares are made of for me because like when a glass breaks and you still find those little tiny like baby shards that are like these little light reflective things, that like freaks me out that like it'll get under my skin and cut open my skin and stuff. Like I just get like ugh about it.
Oh yeah. I always freak out, like especially if anything breaks in that because of the pets. So like
Yeah.
I like corner them off and then after sweeping and vacuuming, I always take and I get like a wet either paper towel or like a Swiffer
Hmm.
now to because that'll usually get it. But yeah,
Yeah.
I do that a couple of times because it scares me.
Apparently you can do that with bread. That's what my so it was like my nephew broke his bottle. It was really sweet because Zach instantly jumped up and was like gathering the pieces when it happened. I
Mhm.
don't think I even told you that, but my dad was like, "I like him." After I
Oh
said
yeah.
after that happened, but and then my brother was like, "Bring me bread," and I was like, "What?" And so he just like gave him a slice of bread and he just patted into the glass to get it up, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's interesting."
Yeah, if someone ever eats glass, one of the things they say is like immediately eat bread.
Really?
Yeah, to try and
Huh?
help. Hmm.
Interesting. The more you know. Do
Hmm.
do 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 do.
Um, so yeah. Um, we talked about Zero Hour a bit. What do you think of the actual pay-per-view?
So MJF and Hangman was first. I thought that was a good way to open the show.
Yeah,
Um,
good way.
so many angles. Like the you know that my gripe with AEW is always the camera angles throughout. They were so annoying so many times. And even how they screwed up the Titantron in the beginning, how MJF to troll us did the old Hangman
Oh yeah.
intro, which I liked. That was like supposed to happen. But then when Hangman comes out, they put up the MJF flag on the screen, and then they put up the old Hangman again, and then they put the new Hangman. Did you catch that? I was just like, what the fuck? It just felt so amateur hour to me. I was like, come on, guys.
Yep. Like if someone just like ran their hands across, like you know when you get in an elevator and like a kid takes and runs his hands down.
Yeah,
That's what somebody did. Like, bloop, bloop, bloop.
yeah. It was not good, but I liked the match a lot. Honestly, I this is gonna sound so vain, but like I literally wrote it in my notes. I was like, I hate Hangman's hair right now. Like when it's like almost like the short little perm like that. I was like, oh, I just hate it. But that was so like vanity based that I was cracking up myself as I was thinking it. But no, I really liked the match. I like that
Yeah.
the series is 1-1 between them now as well, and so yeah,
That match had one of the scariest moments of the night when MJF took that face bump on his forehead. Like
yes.
he like oh I was my heart stopped. I was just like ugh. That
I
that
don't.
oh go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was gonna say, and right before that, because I was messaging my one friend, and when MJF took and did the like tombstone onto that chair that was upright,
Hmm.
um, I was just like, I can't even imagine how his knees would feel. Because like in
Yeah.
tombstone, technically, Hangman's head and neck should have been fine. Like they shouldn't have hit, and like at least I couldn't tell from that angle. But like, oh, like running and hitting your knees like that and your shins on a chair.
Hmm.
Oi, oi.
Terrible.
My ancestors would feel that pain.
I knew the way they were setting up that chair in the corner though, like the way that like he was like leaning on it. I was like, what are they gonna do with this chair? What are they gonna do with this chair? You know?
Mhm. Oh yeah. Um, but yeah,
And
that
Hangman's shoulder from the stairs too, like the way that oh
hmm yeah, yeah. There were some nasty bumps in that, but it was a great match.
yeah,
Definitely a
I
good
really liked
opener.
it. Agreed. Put the women's match in the death spot again.
that's where Mercedes Monet's matches go. And I kind of wonder how she feels about that because, like,
I do too.
she was very vocal in WWE about things. So,
I also wonder how she feels about, I mean, she wanted to really like work with a lot of New Japan talent. It was always like a dream of hers, she said, to work in Japan. And then being going against one of the hardest hitters in Stardom, like she got fucking nailed several times throughout that match. Like that one spot, like I rewound it a couple times because like the reverb of like her neck into the turnbuckle was just like, ugh. And then like the other spot where she got struck in the neck was just, you could tell she was feeling it, you know?
oh yeah, she's gonna be feeling that one for a while.
And also like Momo kept kicking her like right in the boobs, and I'm just like, ah, like it's just made, ugh.
Yep.
Those knee strikes to the chest and the stomach were no joke.
Yeah. My God. I can't even imagine. Her boobs are definitely black and blue.
Yeah. I have to say, I mean, I loved the match with her and Steph ladies
What?
back.
Sorry, what was that?
I think this, sorry, I,
What was that?
am I muted still?
Nope, there we go.
Okay, sorry. Zach just called me. That's not a good sign. Can I call you back?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, lady.
Well, on to for me, what was match of the night, which was Swerve versus Ricochet. Um,
Oh, that was your match of the night?
yeah, I loved that match. Yeah, it was everything. And like the drama with Nana in there too. Like
Yes.
I was freaking out. I was like, "No, no, no. They can't split up. The dance. The dance."
So you were saying no, 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 but not na na na.
Correct.
Gotcha. Just want to clarify. Thank you.
Yep, 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 yep. Um, but yeah, they put on a beautiful match. It was definitely my match of the night. It was my favorite.
It was beautiful. I like that Ricochet fucked up the back of the robe with his logo on it, and came out like that. And then Nana like threw the robe back on. He ran back out to put the robe on, and then Ricochet like hit him and then put it on again. I was like, that was like just the timing. Everything was so good.
Yeah. It was like everything was done so well um with these three gentlemen. Like it,
hmm
it was it was beautiful from start, like from bell to bell.
It was. I did like what you just said. I got nervous in the beginning when like Swerve pushed Nana, and I was like, no, this can't happen.
Mm-hmm. Not our beautiful Nana. No, no.
And Nana, no, no.
No, 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 no. Yeah.
Na 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 na.
No, no,
Uh,
no.
hey, 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 leave him alone.
And I love um Swerve as the number one contender. Um I said when he won that, like, and I think people have said this before too, like Swerve never should have lost that championship. Like, and this is not to like shit on Danielson, but like
Sure.
it's he never should have lost it. Um and when he did, that's when things in AEW, like specifically the like it started things were already trending down, but like took like a sharper turn, I feel.
hmm
Um, yeah, I feel like one of the few things that the IWC is united on is like nobody likes this run that Moxley is having. Like it feels very like Tony Khan looked at the bloodline and Roman Reigns and that run and was like, I have a Shield member. I can do that.
Mm.
And it just isn't the same. Even like the Moxley diehards are not
Like,
loving
what the
this.
fuck is this? Yeah,
Yeah. And
because
it's
It makes Moxley look like a chump. It just
yeah,
it. Yeah.
he looks cowardly and that's never been how he is. Um,
Right.
like that's one thing you could always bet on. And they didn't even try to make what they were doing make any sort of sense until we had been months into this thing when they did that interview with Renee, which had it been
Right.
done at the beginning, like maybe this would have gone differently.
Yeah.
But um yeah, so I really hope Swerve, I mean, I say this with literally everyone Moxley faces at this point that I want them to take the belt off of him, but I really want Swerve to do it at this point and just like we can pretend that this never happened.
I have a lot of thoughts on that. With me, I didn't mind when Danielson won, with the exception of I hated how short it made Swerve's title run
Hmm.
because I like even listening to the commentary when I was watching this, them saying it's been almost a year since Swerve won the championship. That's crazy that like it felt like he had that so much longer than he did. It just feels like this has been like the never-ending year of like weird AEW stories, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't mind Danielson beating Swerve initially. Obviously, he was injured at the end of that match, which was not great. I think they should have changed the call on the fly if that was the case, right? That's
Yeah.
what they should have just done. I know that Tony Khan loves Danielson just like in the way that I do. So I get that because I wanted him to have the championship run in AEW. But it's like if your health isn't there, don't do that. Like it doesn't make any sense.
It wasn't a good run.
It
It
wasn't a good run.
it
Exactly.
it didn't do anything for his legacy.
What I would have liked, honestly, is what the fuck are they doing with the whole Christian Cage title shot thing? Because like for me, I think they could have salvaged that at the end of last year, like November time, right? Full gear. Had Christian pull the trigger and win the belt. Totally could have set up. And then there's Christian Cage is money. This heel run is money.
Mhm.
Let him do that.
Do you know you said you didn't mind spoilers, right?
Oh yeah, I haven't watched the rest of this. This is where this is coming into play.
Yeah.
Was it a failed cash in?
Yeah.
No.
And it was short. It was short.
What the fuck are we doing?
And like there was one cool moment in it where like because Edge was like knocked out and Christian almost got the 1, 2, 3, but then Moxley got in and put like a sleeper on him. And Christian almost won because he put like just a hand on Edge and the referee star and almost got the 3 count that way, which that would have been phenomenal. Um,
I know.
but Moxley realized it, pulled him off, choked him out. Like I think the cash in probably lasted 3 minutes.
I'm so mad right now.
Yeah.
No, I don't mind spoilers, but I'm like mad that they did it that way.
Yeah. The air was sucked out of that arena. Like you just saw everyone just be like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like that's
What are we doing? Like, what the fuck are we doing?
mm-hmm. Yep.
Does John Moxley have something on Tony Khan? No, I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? Like, what are we? Because I don't even see John Moxley as wanting this. He's
Yeah,
like
it doesn't
he's so pragmatic and logical and like business driven that he doesn't. I don't think that he would.
he has to be
What the fuck
seeing
are
this.
we? 1,000%. He's so like his ring psychology is great. There's no
Hmm.
fucking way he doesn't understand how stupid this all looks optically.
Yeah, like when your matches end and people walk out, like I don't and I mean a lot of people will have said, and I'm one of them, I don't think that should have been the last match on the card. It should have been Tony Storm. Turned out to be such a thing that like Tony Khan had to answer that like as a question. Like why wasn't Tony Storm the last one? And he was like, well, I looking back 2020, da 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 da. And he's like, I also think, maybe that match wouldn't have been as amazing had it come after Will and Kyle Fletcher. And I was just like, no, it still would have been fire. Like
Yeah,
you could have put that match anywhere and it would have been fire. I was shocked that it was as early on the card as it was.
really. So is it the next match after the Syndicate,
Um,
the
I
tag match?
I think so because I remember being shocked because there was Will and Ospreay. Yeah, because it went then because it was Kenny Omega's match
Hmm.
and Takeshita, Will Ospreay's because they kept Don Callis out there on commentary for both, and then
Okay.
finished up with Moxley.
It's funny because I've said that multiple times while watching this, how irritated I was because they even said on commentary, and then our main event, and then it showed like Cope and Mox, and I was like, why is this the main event?
Hmm.
This makes no sense. Like, I hate when people get in their head that just because it's for the main title it needs to be the main event. Like, do you remember that fucking WrestleMania? Was it WrestleMania 18, right? Where The Rock and Hogan were the second to last match, And
Yeah.
then Jericho and Triple H were the last match, and it was like nobody had energy left, and it fell so flat.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just screwed over like two performers. Yeah, like Jericho and Triple H got a great paycheck for being that, but that what else?
Yeah. And like Tony Storm and Mariah May, it was finishing up. It was the Hollywood ending.
Yeah.
Ending is in the like the name of the match. Put it at the end of the pay-per-view. People all would have went home happy. Um,
Mm,
there was some shenanigans, of course, afterwards, like there always is, where they got redeemed a little bit, but not enough that like a lot of people were still like, why wasn't Tony Storm and Mariah May the last match? Like
makes me.
that's what everyone's like invested in.
Yeah.
Um, like that is your biggest story going.
Hmm.
Oh,
That's awful.
yeah.
I'm even more mad now that I know because I was already pissed that that wasn't the main event, and now I'm more pissed that it was that early on the card.
Yeah, that cash in was very like to the point where I was like, we waited all this time for this. Like, I get that it's setting up, it's now going to be Cope versus Christian. Like, that's definitely where we're headed because of that. But like, we didn't need, they could have done the cash
Right.
in differently. It was just,
We still, if Christian won, we still could have set up for Cope and Christian. There's this. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
yeah, there's so much history there.
Yes.
Like, and even in AEW, like, that's a no-brainer.
You could be a caveman and write a story that ties
Mhm.
into that.
Yep. They see each other from across the crowded room. Now,
You pet my brontosaurus. Oh,
yeah,
go,
yeah. Time to die. You know?
go. I invented the wheel. You took credit for it.
And it would be Christian that was the one taking credit for it.
Oh, this makes me so mad. So for transparency, Sabrina sent me a text and I knew that I was in for some shit because it was very much like very mixed review. I was like, how was the pay-per-view? And I was
It
like,
was
the
right after I watched
reaction.
that too. It was like right
Oh,
after. And I was
great.
like, how was it? Yes.
Wow. That sucks. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. Um, what was the match that was after? Oh, was it the tag match with
This next match was Brody and Okada came next.
Oh, yes. Yes. I was feeding my pets for most of this match, but
I couldn't get into it, and I
yeah.
almost feel like I need to rewatch it, but it might have just been because Swerve and Ricochet's match was so solid and fire, and it's like the stuff that those guys do,
Yeah.
incredible. Just and so that really like drew me in. I think I needed more of a. This is when they should have had like some bullshit reset to like bring out whoever, like have Young Gravy talk, like something that I don't give a shit about, so I can kind of like, you know,
Yeah.
because I felt kind of bad
Calibrate.
for. I mean, exactly. I felt bad for Brody and Okada because of that. Because these are two like dudes who are hard hitting who I should have been able to like kind of get into that a little bit more. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I kind of need I kind of want to go back and watch that match now with a fresh set of eyes.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat because like I didn't really like it was dinner time for the pets. That's what that
You're like
match was.
they call the shots, man. Yeah.
Dobby had been screaming at me all during the Swerve Ricochet match, but I wasn't moving during that one. So
Right. Makes sense.
it's just like, look, Cat, do you see what they're doing?
Look how sick this is, Dobby.
Right. Unless you start doing those moves on Cranberry, I'm not moving. So
That's so funny.
I just see Dobby running with a steel chair.
Oh my God. That's so
Cranberry has a
funny.
robe on for some reason.
Cheddar has the dynamite diamond ring on.
Right. He's just like, wolf.
You're like, did you order this from Shop A from AEW Shop? No, I'm just
I didn't even know they made dog rings.
kidding. All of a sudden, he's just got like all this like bling on. He goes like this. You're like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna go check my credit card statements.
Yeah, for real.
They don't call me Cheddar for nothing. Woof woof.
Plot twist, Cheddar's been selling paw photos on the internet.
You know, he can start then paying for some of his own stuff if that's the case.
Right? He's holding out on you.
Yep. Yep, yep, yep.
Oh my God.
Okay, so since neither one of us have anything on that match,
A lot of hard hits though. Like,
yeah.
yeah. Like just it was just hard hitting. So that was cool, but I need to go back and rewatch it.
Then it was the tag match, right, with the Outrunners and
Hurt
um
Syndicate, yeah.
yeah.
This is where I fell asleep, and not because it was boring, because I am so tired.
I also had a hard time dialing into this match, which is funny
Okay.
considering like I'm wearing an Outrunners shirt right now.
I mean,
Um
I'm guessing the Hurt Syndicate retained, right?
yeah,
I didn't have any doubt about that.
yeah. Like dominantly.
Dang. I kind of hate that.
Yeah. Um I I don't know what tag team I could even believe, even if it was 2-on-1, could beat Bobby Lashley, like on his
What about if
own.
what about if like Kenny and Hangman got back together or something?
Maybe then. But otherwise, like any current tag team, like Bobby Lashley is a beast, and then Shelton Benjamin is a baddie. So how you gonna do that?
Yeah.
Like there's a reason, like they are believable tag champs.
Yeah. Like who
They're
else? I feel like they're gonna have a fucking record breaking title run. Like who the fuck's gonna be able to touch that?
yeah,
Nobody.
yeah. I do think like the gun, like I think like they can have some great matches with folks. Like I think especially like the guns are fun and would be funny like to do some stuff with. But
Hmm.
yeah.
I feel like whoever's going to take them out, it would need to be like two really strong single stars together or like something like that, you know? Like I could see
Yeah.
Switchblade, Jay White with somebody type of a thing. I don't know if they tried to do something with that.
Big meaty men slapping meat.
Yeah, or we could get like a powerhouse Hobbs and somebody. I don't know.
Wardlow.
Yeah,
Remember
I
that
don't even
guy?
know. I miss that guy.
I miss Wardlow so much. Baby,
I
come
know.
back.
You can blame it all on Tony. I was kidding.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, if he's injured, because that's what they've been saying that he's injured. It's like he hasn't wrestled in a year. Like in
I
March, it
know.
makes it a year. That's
That's
a
crazy.
that's a serious injury. And like it's not like he was doing not like they had him doing the best stuff before he was injured.
Yeah, agreed. So next was Tony and Mariah then.
Yeah, from what I saw of that match, it's great. But it got very bloody very quickly. Oh, and I think, did you see the clip of Tony Schiavone interviewing some of the ladies from Queen of the Ring, the movie?
No.
So he says to like the one something along the lines of like, what do you think about wrestling? And she says like, well, the one thing I learned about wrestling is like you all know who's gonna win before the match starts or something. And everyone was just like, oh, like interesting. Hmm. Interesting choice of things to say.
That is an interesting take.
Yeah. I was just like, you know, you just told some kid Santa's not real.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, I don't care about like the adults, obviously, but for like
Sure.
kids or people with various needs who still believe like in the magic,
Hmm.
yeah. I don't, although honestly, I don't know how many kids are watching AEW pay-per-views because those are going to be bloodbaths.
But you know what's hilarious is I felt like Zero Hour felt really kid-centric to me. Like it
Considering
felt
they had
very
kids in it, yeah.
not just that, but it felt very PG era. Like that it was just felt like it just totally all reality was thrown out the window. And I think that's I literally made that comment when I was watching it through last night. I was like, why I was like, why does this feel like the PG era when they're just really just doing that hard transition where it just starts to feel so awkward because it's like, okay, Now we're like we left behind ruthless aggression, which was like in more intense, and now we're into this, and it just was like it felt like such a sharp turn to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, I think Tony Khan has taken some interesting, like some of the feedback a little interestingly about
Yeah.
like we want you to be more family friendly. Oh, well, this is what WWE did. Next thing you know, it's gonna be like, I mean, they've done stuff like that before, like the Space Jam thing where everyone came out in their basketball uniforms
It,
and stuff.
it reminds me of like the interview that Ricky Starks had with Chris Van Vliet, where he's talking about like, and I've heard Bobby Lashley talk about this too, but Bobby obviously is actively with the company and stuff at this time. But like, he was saying, he's like, one thing I'll say about Tony is you can't please everybody. You have to like really just be the boss. And like Bobby Lashley didn't have any whiplash or like anything from that. You know, he was he was telling the truth. But then
Yeah.
Ricky Starks said the same thing, and then he right after that interview was released, you know,
Hmm.
he wasn't allowed to be in the GCW show or whatever, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So
Although he was begging to be released, so he did get what he wanted. And I mean,
yeah,
for the better at this point.
right. He just I saw before we jumped on this call, he posted a story and it was cracking me up. It was a sandwich board and he's a Pisces
Hmm.
and it said it's Pisces season, go cry about it. And he put it in his stories and I was like, I love this man.
I love Ricky Starks so much.
Oh man.
He must be so
Hilarious.
happy that he's in the same company with Cody again.
And Jade. Jade's one of his besties.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd love to see them do something together in the future. That'd be so cool.
yeah. I think he's gonna be unstoppable, but
Yeah.
um yeah, the since you didn't see the Tony Mariah match yet.
I think I know who wins though, because I saw a picture with Tony holding the belt. And also I would have been shocked if it was like after how big Grand Slam was, if Mariah plus it's like this is the finale and like you and I
Yeah.
both talked about Mariah's title run just being like, what the fuck was that? So maybe with the way everything booking wise has been lately, Mariah could have won this, but like I'm really glad that Tony retained.
Yeah, I did like how Mariah was acting though between when she lost the belt to this match, like how like deranged she got. Like I loved
Yeah.
Mariah in that. I
Okay.
think she was doing great work with that. And I was like, if they could have let her do this during her run,
Mm-hmm.
fantastic. But yeah, that whole arena was painted with their blood. It was the
Wow.
bloodiest match, easily.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah. It was sick. Yes. Yes.
I mean, all the more argument to why it would have been a great way to cap off the show.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I think if I liked or at least could deal with blood, that might have been my match of the night. But
Okay.
I can't, so it's not.
Right. Right. So
Um
next was Takeshita and Kenny then.
and this was an excellent match as well.
And
Like
I'm very surprised because I thought that you would say this would be match of the night. But obviously this is me going in blind and not seeing everything.
it was excellent. I was so into what Swerve and Ricochet and Nana were doing. Like
Mm,
it was yes. I absolutely loved this match as well. Like I was dialed in. Um a lot of Don Callis interference. A lot. A lot, a lot, a lot. Um he might have actually I couldn't tell if he was selling it or if he actually really did hurt his hand, Don Callis, when he was punching Kenny.
mhm.
He might have actually like broken a finger.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the rock hard abs. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, it was off of his head, but
I know. I figured it wasn't the abs.
they
Can
were
you
really
picture him just punching the abs?
they were really selling though the diverticulitis. I didn't realize then maybe they said this at some other point I didn't hear it, but Kenny Omega had 2 feet of his intestines removed.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that much.
Insane.
Yeah.
My uncle had like 2 feet of intestines removed, and it was like he was in pain like when I went to visit the whole family like in Nashville.
Hmm.
And then he was just like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Sorry, I'm being such a wimp. And then like fucking he went into emergency surgery the next day and had like 2 feet of his intestines removed. And now he can't eat like sunflower seeds and shit. So I was like, yo, bro, I
Yeah,
think
real
that
big
we're good.
wimp.
Yeah.
Real big wimp. Hosting everyone while his like literally internal organs are dying. So,
I know. Oh my God.
but yeah, it was that was a very good match. Yeah. And do you know who wins this one?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah.
My man had been dethroned
He has, but that makes me
for
very
my other man,
confident. Yeah. It makes me very confident that I will be seeing Kenny Omega wrestle at Dynasty, which I will be at. So,
which, it's so funny. I cracked up because earlier you said that to me, and like it would have been a giveaway if I didn't already know.
sorry.
No, no, no. It's
Yeah.
totally fine. It's totally fine. It's one of those things that were like I also didn't watch it live. Like I knew the
Yeah.
risk, and
Yeah.
I've been going into Instagram a couple of times, so of course it's gonna be the top image was Kenny holding that belt, and yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. I'm gonna be checking him off my bucket list in not a sex way.
Who who do you think is gonna challenge for that belt next, or has it already been revealed? And the do I need to watch pay-per-view to find out?
I
No,
don't think it's been revealed.
we don't got a
I
lot.
mean,
We don't got a lot of time, Tony Khan. Who's it gonna be?
yeah, I mean it could be anyone from the Don Callis family
Yeah,
because that was some shit that he
I
was
was kind of
doing
thinking it was
pulling.
gonna be Kyle or something.
Could be because I'm sure him and Will are probably like done for now, maybe, maybe.
Hmm.
But yeah, again, their match was another one. They both came out wearing white, and as soon as I was just like, okay, and a steel cage. Okay, guys, just tell us what's going on here. Why don't you?
I feel like if they ever were like to sell their gear on Whatnot, you know what I mean? It's like the blood really shows up more, Like so I just feel like at this point people wear white intentionally for either like a memorabilia collector's item in case they decide to sell it or whatever, or just like their own collection or it just looks sick. Like you remember
Yeah,
like the Lucha Bros gear at like 20 was it the 2021 full gear against the Bucks, or sorry, all out against the Bucks. Remember where like Penta wore like the white kind of gear and it got all bloody and like yeah, so it's like and that they had that on display at Republica Lucha and I was just like, this is so fucking cool, like still with the
hmm,
dried blood on the gloves and stuff too.
yeah. I would not buy that memorabilia, but
I was geeking out about it, but yeah, still.
hey, if you ever want to frame them for a crime, you got the DNA to do it.
That's the exact thing that my mind went to too.
Hmm. Scrape, scrape.
Yeah, straight up.
It's just like, why was Kyle Fletcher in Portland
Forks, Washington. You said
uh-huh,
Portland, I said Forks.
doing the murders and break-ins,
Oh my God.
just leaving some old dried blood behind?
I'm surprised you didn't say Tucson with everything you hear on
Yeah,
Tucson.
every time I'm listening to like a murder podcast now, Tucson comes up. Apparently, like murderers really love like retiring there, or when they get out of prison, they go there. Like, yeah, not
Good
to mention
times.
the murders that happen there.
Yeah, fun times.
Uh-huh.
So, how much of Kyle and Will's match did you actually get to watch?
Maybe 4 minutes. And more so than
Damn.
Mariah May and Tony Storms.
Does Mariah and Tony's match just start out like a bloodbath instantly?
Yeah, yeah. Tony like pretty quickly like just had blood pouring down her face. I think she bladed too deep, quite frankly.
Oh
Um,
no.
and it starts when Kyle Fletcher takes Will's face and starts rubbing it against the cage like this.
Oh, like a cheese grater.
Yep. Yep, 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 yep. So,
Oh God. Okay.
but yeah.
Something to look forward to.
I was at least able, like occasionally, I would like look up at their match and be able to see parts of it, but not not a ton.
Yeah.
I missed a Kyle Fletcher's ass in there, apparently. So that's something for you to look forward to.
Oh, I wonder how Sky felt watching this.
Just showing his cookies everywhere.
Letting it all hang out.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so after Will and Kyle
Then comes
was
main event.
that was it?
Uh-huh.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So it was a
The
boring
eye,
match.
the eye, it was boring,
It was
the whole
boring.
thing.
It was a boring
Uh,
match. Um, Yuta got involved. Of course, he didn't turn on Moxley, of
yeah,
course. Um, Christian Cage got involved, cashed in. That went down how I
disappointing.
said. Yeah. And then afterwards, there's some shenanigans at the end, which I'll leave as a surprise for you. Um,
Okay, I
but
got one thing.
yeah, one thing, yeah.
Woohoo!
And that's the thing that like redeemed like the ending of the show a little bit, but not,
Fully, yeah,
yeah, not that match. It just wasn't a good match. Like it was okay.
yeah.
Not a main event, not a main event match.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is like it's still stuck to the same pattern of like, well, we know someone's going to interfere from the Death Riders. We know
Hmm.
like like it was so copy paste and like there wasn't anything
Hmm.
that like really made me super excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the people were most hyped when Edge came out and they were singing along to his entrance.
And then it was all downhill from there.
Yep.
Or people probably got stoked when they heard Christian's music, and then it probably was quickly like the air got sucked out of the room, like you said.
It wasn't Christian's music. He came in with like he snuck in. It was
Oh.
he, like cashed in during like towards the end of the match.
Oh shit. Okay.
Like the
That's
last 3 minutes.
anticlimactic.
That's why I said he was only in there for like maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Yeah. I was hoping he at least got his music or something. That makes it even like cornier.
Yep. Yep. And like the other thing is when so they were like, "Oh, now that he's cashed in, it's a no disqualification." Okay.
What?
Why? Because it's a three-way.
Yeah.
Great. They didn't do any of those rules for it. If it was going to be that, why wouldn't his minions be with him?
Right.
Like it makes no sense. Like Christian Cage, that character wouldn't show up without them.
Right.
So, um, but yeah, especially it's no disqualification. It was a count out victory. Or not like a not a count out. Like he choked Christian out. So Edge didn't technically lose.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Dang. I mean, were you secretly hoping that Cope was going to win this and get that belt off Mox?
I've been hoping that literally anyone that he's gone up against would beat him. So
I know you said that, but I guess in my head I was like, people have also expressed concerns about Cope winning the belt. But at this point, it's kind of like, well, we have Mox who's had it forever, and it's been this weird storyline that's gone nowhere, you know?
yeah, I'm not. If Mox was having like a historic or a great run, I would
Hmm.
have different feelings about it. Um,
Right.
but I just want the belt off of him at this point. I don't. I think the only one I would object to are like the Costco guys. That's it. Literally anyone else but them. Like that's in the company currently.
Okay.
So like if Logan Paul switched over, I also wouldn't want him winning.
That's that's fair. Okay.
But yeah, I just I'm so over this. Do I want Edge? No. No. I would have loved Jay White would have been great. OC was obviously my number one pick. Hangman
Right.
would have been great.
That
Um,
fatal four way that they did, it makes no sense why Mox walked out of that. It made everybody look like shit. Christian should have cashed in then if one of those other guys didn't win. Makes
yep,
no sense.
yep.
Jay White has been so wasted in this company, and it makes me so endlessly angry.
Mhm. Jay White does get involved in that match, but he screws up and he like accidentally knocks out
The ref?
Hope.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah. So
What are you doing? AEW used to be my favorite promotion. I don't know that it's still I still love it so much, but it's so hard. It makes me it's like why do you make this hard for me to love you? I just want to love you, AEW.
yeah, I just uh they there were some high points and
Hmm.
there were low points. Like this was not their best pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So, um, are my hopes high for Dynasty? No, but I'm going specifically to see Kenny Omega. Like as long as that happens, I will be happy.
Right.
Literally don't care about the card otherwise. I'm excited, but like I want to see Kenny Omega perform live.
What if it's Orange and Kenny?
I might faint. I don't
That would be a sick match though.
think it would be. I don't think it will be that, but I
I
hope
mean,
Orange is
but
on. Orange will definitely be on it because it's Philly.
yeah, right. But Orange is always like kind of like the Mox thing. If they need like somebody for that IC belt, then it's Mox.
Yeah. I don't th yeah,
Or then it's sorry, then it's Orange, not Mox.
Orange. Yeah, I don't think that'll necessarily be the case, but he doesn't really have a strong feud going either, so
But he's got a strong alliance in the Costco guys now.
there's that, I guess. Yeah. Hopefully,
Oh man,
maybe Orange and like a tag partner will just take on an MXM. There we go. I would be ecstatic to see that
right.
because
That
I
would be.
love them.
Oh my God, it was pretty great.
My friends who are into like drag, I always send them the stuff with MXM trying to convince them to watch wrestling.
Mason's makeup looks so good during that match too. I could not get over it.
Yeah. They're just beautiful men.
I know they are. They really are.
Beautiful.
I love how Mansoor is so outspoken for Palestine too. Makes me really happy.
Yeah. And I love that he's doing that while doing this character.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
They're both just so funny.
They are.
I think like if they were part of like an improv troupe, I would go see them.
They're so underrated too. Like they're great to watch, like entertainment wise, and they're just talented.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
But yeah, so based on what you've seen so far of Revolution, there we go. I'm like, what the hell is this one called? What was your overall impression?
0 Hour left me so confused because you know me, I'm a diehard 0 Hour watcher, and like I even like, you know, I even commented during it. I was like, I never skip anything. Like I could watch Renee Paquette talk about a bagel for fucking 3 hours. I loved her so much. But
Yeah.
I was even maybe I was just antsy to try to get caught up too. But like there was just so much weird stuff during the pre-show that I was like, what is this? That I just didn't watch it, and I feel bad almost because
Well,
it's not
that
my fault.
Jericho thing
I'm
was weird,
oh I skipped that.
right? That happened on there, not Dynamite or
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, I heard I'm the learning tree, and then I instantly went fast forward.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was gonna hit Bandito's well he did hit Bandito with a baseball bat, but like he was threatening his sister and mother and they stole his brother's mask.
Wow,
I
okay.
just hate Jericho.
It's it's very frustrating.
Yeah. But yeah, skipping that. Good call.
Yeah. Any other thoughts, lady, on the pay-per-view?
Nope. Nope. Not their best of the year, but not,
No.
I was gonna say not their worst, but I was like the year just started, so maybe.
I'm hoping they get things figured out before Dynasty, so you can have a kick-ass show. Like you said, though, you're gonna get to see Kenny wrestle more likely than not, which is cool.
Yes. But,
Yeah.
all right, let's do our sign off.
All right, lady. In the name of our Lord and Savior,
Willow Nightingale,
the Babe with Power,
power of voodoo, hoodoo, you do.
nothing matters. Smile anyway.